Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I am going to make a shaped card that will be a tunnel card as well. I am starting off with some heavyweight cardstock and I'm going to make a top folding A2 size card base. So I've cut my 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock down to 2 strips of 4 1/4 wide by 11 inches tall, and along that 11-inch edge I scored at 5.5. So folded, this card will be 4 1/4 by 5.5. And today I'm crafting with the Heartfelt Thanks and Scallops die set. This was designed by Wendy Vici and it's from her From the Garden collection at Spellbinders. And to make a shaped card, I'm taking the largest rectangle scallop die and I'm going to die cut through both the front and the back of my card base, but I hung the top cutting edge of the die above the folded edge so that it doesn't cut through the fold. Parts of the scallop will cut through the fold, but that's fine. Some of it's still going to be preserved. Some of the fold will still be preserved. And so that hinge will be still in place so that you can still fold the card. And I had to run it through my die cutting machine twice because it's 2 layers of heavyweight cardstock. So you may need to do that, but don't worry, the dies should make it through just fine through both layers. And what you'll have in the end is something like this. So it'll end up being folded like that, and even though the scallops are clipped at the top, don't worry, because what I'm going to do is layer on these additional panels. This die set is amazing, and I think if you're a beginner crafter and you don't have a lot of things, look for sets like these because it's a bit of everything. You have actually 2 nested shape die sets here. You have 3 nested rectangle scallops, and they are perfectly sized for A2 size cards, mats and layers. And then you have 5 sizes of hearts. And rectangles and hearts are so universal, so easy to use. And then besides that, you also get the word die thanks along with its bubble or shadow layer. So this set has a lot of, really basic components that you can use for your crafting all year long. Now what I've done is with the largest size heart die, I cut that out of my lightest shade of teal matte layer, which is the smallest size of rectangle. So that's my topmost layer. And I took the second size heart and I die cut an aperture through a pink panel that will create a little bit of a pink border for this heart. And what I'm doing is lining up my teal panel with the pink sort of frame. And what I'll do is line up that second size heart, the second largest heart die, and I'm going to cut an aperture through my middle layer, which is my second teal panel. And it didn't cut through all the way because I did put the die, I kind of nestled the die right into where the top layer aperture is, and because of that extra thickness it might not make it all the way through, but it left an impression which was easy to line up afterwards. And so what I'll do with my lighter shade of pink is, again, I'm just going to cut off a bit of a scrap piece here, and I'm going to take the third largest heart and I will die cut a little aperture out of this pink panel too. So the reason why I'm doing these extra pink layers is because I think it'll be fun to have, you kind of have 2 effects going on here. We've got the like almost a pyramid stack of the rectangle panels, going from dark at the bottom and then lighter and smaller nested rectangles as you go to the top. And then there's like the inverse of that in the pink frames of the heart. So I have the darkest heart on the topmost layer, and then the pink hearts get smaller and lighter as we go downward or into the tunnel. So it's just a fun effect of, being able to stack multiple different layers and just playing with the different sizes of just your plain old basic nested shape dies. And you can do this with any shape that you'd like. Now, I started to put things together, but I thought it might make more sense to show you all of the individual pieces. So I'm starting to assemble this by adding the pink layers directly behind the teal frames. So I'm lining up my teal rectangle on top of that pink layer so that I get a nice border frame of the pink. And I'll do that with my second panel as well. So my medium shade of teal with my light shade of pink. So the pink is going to get adhered directly behind this panel here. And that just gives a little bit of that pink border peeking through to create that frame. Then what I'll start to do is glue these two panels and stack them onto my card front. But when I attach these to my card front, what I will do is, instead of adhering them directly flat with liquid adhesive like I did the pink frames, I am actually going to attach them with some low profile foam. So my low profile foam is about 1 to 1.5 millimeters thick. And I like using low profile foam because it just gives you that little bit of dimension without making the card overly thick to where it might actually trigger additional postage, because in the US we have a limit of 1/4 of an inch, and so beyond that you might actually have to start paying extra postage to put a card in the mail. And by using low profile foam, I can actually stack. I have a lot of layers here. I've got 3 different shades of teal, 2 different shades of pink, and if I were to stack these with maybe a 3 millimeter thickness foam in between each layer, I'd probably be looking at having to pay extra postage. So the low profile foam helps to avoid that. And I do like to be a little bit generous with my foam. You see me kind of covering up the middle area here too, not just the border all the way around all 4 edges. And mostly that's just because I don't want any kind of saggy areas through the center of this. So that's the only reason for it, but certainly just having a strip all the way around all 4 edges would be plenty. And all I'm going to do is then stack these 2 panels together, making sure the hearts line up and that I have a nice border all the way around. And it's as simple as that. It's a really neat effect to have that sort of heart getting smaller and having the different shades of teal and the different shades of pink. I brought on screen a moment ago, I have the Sarah Renee Clark color combinations, not as the physical cube that she sends now with the actual cards, but I got it when she was making that available as a digital download, And so I often forget about using it because you know how when something, at least for me, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So generally, I reach for the things that are closest to me that I can see. And without having the physical product, I often forget that I have this wonderful resource. So I love that I've been seeing so many crafters use the actual physical cube. And that's a really great reminder for me to actually pull up the file on my phone, which I find very easy to browse through. And so if you are not familiar with it, I'll try to remember to leave a link to Sarah Renee Clark's website if you are interested in checking out the color cube. It's great for your just getting different color combinations that you might not think of. And as well, I'm not crafting specifically for the January challenge, but Kendra started a color challenge, a monthly color challenge in her Kendra's Card Challenge Facebook group. So that's another fun way to see some different color combinations and play along and also try to win some prizes. So what I did to finish off my card is I used the the solid circle wax seal, and I made a wax seal as flat as thinly as I could. And then I just tried die cutting through it with the smallest die, and it worked. So you can die cut through your wax seals, which I kind of think is really fun. Right now, I just did a really flat one, which with this, of course, that could just as easily have been cardstock, but I really want to start experimenting a little bit more with die cutting through my wax seals to create differently shaped seals. So I'll let you know if anything comes of that idea, but this was just a little test and it cut through perfectly fine. Thanks for checking out my card today. I'll leave links to everything in the description box below if you want to check out any of the products that I used. And if you do shop with any of my links, they are likely to be affiliate links. So thanks in advance for supporting me in that way, because every time you do shop my affiliate links, I do get a small commission, and that comes at no extra cost to you. But I really appreciate your support, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.